Hello, this is Amanda Foster reporting live from Boston. Just this morning, 2 bombs wreaked havoc on the 2013 Boston Marathon.
Iraqi War, 9/11, Desert Storm, Vietnam War, World War II, Holocaust, World War I, Spanish-American War, Chicago Fire, Civil War, War of 1812, American Revolution.
Hello, this is Annabella Pate reporting from Boston. Today, the 5th day of March, marks the 1-year anniversary of the Boston Massacre. The whole ordeal started when a British regiment opened up fire on a peaceful group of protesting colonists. The malicious attack caused the death of 5 brave men, and we would like to commemorate this day in their memory. One of these victims, Crispus Attucks, was a fugitive slave who escaped from his master 20 years preceding this incident. He was at the front of the group of protesting colonists, and he was the first to die in this conflict. Another victim, Patrick Carr, was shot in the initial violence, but didn't die until 9 days later. He was a 30-year-old leather worker and was completely uninvolved in the protests. He was simply crossing the street when he was caught in the crossfire. Similar to Carr, Samuel Maverick was killed even though he took no part in the protest. His death was very tragic, and he was only 17 years old. Maverick was survived by Miss Elizabeth Brooks, formerly his fiancée, and she has agreed to speak with us today. Welcome, and thank you for joining us today.
Of course, anything I could do to indicate the people of Boston of such an animosity.
There have been many rumors that Samuel hadn't planned on taking part in the protest. Do you know how he got there?
Yes, being such a brave person, he heard the bells and thought that there was a fire, so he reached out to help.
Did he go alone?
No, he was out to dinner with his friends when he heard the bells ringing, and Mr. Greenwood, very close to him, they went out together, but they got separated. And Mr. Greenwood never saw my dear Samuel again. And Mr. Greenwood, he went to the war, and we found his journal, in which he said, after his death, I used to go together in the dark on purpose to see his spirit, for I was so fond of him, and him of me.
Did Samuel have a merciful death? He sounds like quite a young man. I do hope he didn't have to pay greatly for his valiancy.
A merciful death is one that he deserved, but he didn't pass till the morning. I held him in my arms. I felt the warmth leave his body. I saw the life leave his eyes.
We all mourn for your loss. Up next, we will discuss the last 2 victims and meet the widow of one. Stay tuned. Welcome back. I'm Annabella Pate from Boston. Previously, we gave some background on Crispus Attucks, Patrick Carr, and Samuel Maverick, 3 of the 5 men killed in the terrible Boston Massacre last year. Miss Elizabeth Brooks gave us some personal insight on the death of her former fiancé, 17-year-old Samuel Maverick. Maverick wasn't the only young man killed. James Caldwell was also 17 at the time of his death, but unlike Maverick, he wasn't even from Boston. He was a sailor under the command of Captain Thomas Morton and sailed between Boston and the West Indies. He was shot twice in the back right after Samuel Gray. Gray received the first shot from the British troops. His widow, Miss Alice Gray, has also agreed to answer a few questions. Thank you for joining us today.
It's a pleasure to be here to help keep my husband's memory alive.
People have said that Samuel initiated the fight because he was a notorious brawler. Do you think this is so?
While he may have had a reputation for getting involved, he didn't want this fight to happen. There had been a series of scuffles between employees of the ropeworks and British soldiers. The soldiers were trying to take their jobs to earn extra money because the British armies paid terrible salaries. That was the only reason for the brawls he was involved in. Before the massacre occurred, Samuel tried to keep the peace. He even called out to Private Matthew Thor not to fire, yet the violence erupted and 5 brave men were killed.
How has his death affected your family?
It's been very hard. As you can see, I'm still in mourning. We had one son, little Paul. He was just 4 years old, but he died of smallpox just 5 months after Samuel. He had Sam's eyes, and now he's gone. I have nothing left. I wish to remember my husband.
Hell is a living example of how much this event truly destroyed the lives of many, even if they weren't directly involved. This act of brutality from the British troops tore lives apart and acted as a spark that ignited our current revolution. I'm Annabella Pate, reporting from Boston. Our hearts go out to the families that were affected by this tragedy, and the victims will forever live on in our memories. Rest in peace. Hello, this is Amanda Foster reporting from Boston. Just this morning, 2 bombs wreaked havoc on the Boston Marathon. I can't do this. Another victim, Patrick Carr, was shot in the initial. That was early. There have been rumors that Samuel didn't plan on. There's a dog.
Yes, he heard the bells ringing, and being such a fabulous person, I cannot say fabulous.
Thank you for joining us today.
Of course, anything.
Why am I British? Did you go alone?
No, he was out to dinner when he heard the bird.
Hurts the birds.
Welcome back. I'm Annabella Pate from Boston. Previously, we gave some background.
He didn't pass till the morning. I held him in my arms. I felt the warmth leave his body. I saw the light leave his eyes. Are we done? Okay.